Hello guys, and welcome back to Power Revolution 2020 edition with our Israeli playthrough. In the last episode, we finally became a little bit of a dictatorship, or as the game would like to call us, an authoritarian republic. So Rome, I guess, but Jewish Rome, if we can call it that. Pakistan also decided to invade Iran. Iran's taken it to the UN, and we don't know how that's going to really go, but we see some back and forth firing happening. This base here has been traded back and forth a couple times, I think. Let's look at the numbers so far. As we can see, there are more infantry lost, more units in general lost on the Iranian side, but it's pretty damn close, and it's in its early stages. We've had a couple conflicts, etc. as the game has gone on, but this is definitely the widest, largest war so far, and if it keeps escalating, then I wonder how it's going to end. The AI usually ends things before conclusive results, or when China invaded Afghanistan earlier in our playthrough, they invaded, but all they really took is war reparations, which is a stupid AI thing to do. We also recently took Palestine. Let's go ahead and just hit play. We have some strikes going on because we just turned to a dictatorship. And we still are going through and updating our industries, getting them up and running again. Next one we're doing is conventional submarines, which is, let me get off this screen. Lags the game too much. We have that good. We just benefited from an international meeting, apparently. I don't even remember which one that was. Let's see. Let's get construction of electric utility vehicles. That will be the next one. A lot of these other ones that are X'd out are just natural resources, and we probably won't be able to get them started because we probably don't have a reserve. Things like rare earth oxides, nickel, iron, zinc. We probably don't have any reserves of this anyway, so I'll probably not even bother trying to get those online, which means after this next one I'm nationalizing, I'll only really have coal and steel, which are pretty expensive, maybe uranium. Actually, I don't know. We don't have uranium. We might not even have coal, but those are all I'll really have left to get up and running. Oh, also, I set up a meeting with the left-wing billionaire just to ask for more money, tell him he's radiant. What does everyone think about you? Popularity is 61. I'll still ask you to speak highly of me in public. Give you another compliment from my party. Thank you very much. So what I'll probably do for those industries that we don't have up and running that are natural resources, I'll probably just wait until we take places over, because when we do take places over, we will get their industries anyway. We will acquire their industries, and if they have those resources, it's likely up and running already. I will probably get them into a state-owned state status before acquiring them proper, because that would make it so I wouldn't have to pay any money to acquire the industry when I take it from another country. I would just already have it. That would save me a good amount of money. As you see, we are taking popularity hits here because of all the strikes. Now a sit-in. I'm not using the TV appearance because I just used it like at the end of the last episode. Where should I even get started on trying to fix this? I mean, sure, let's put another star into help for employing young people. I really want to put points into army. I want to start expanding my army. Police tends to not be very well liked when I do put things into it. So maybe we should just not do that. Yes, okay, our budget has been affected by merging with Palestine. So let's get 1 star into the fight against terrorism. Wow, that was expensive. Let's go into environment and see what else can be done for hopefully not a crazy amount of money. Combat animal droppings. That's cheap. Let's do that. Let's go to sports. Alright, I already maxed everything out here. We might just have to start building things at this rate, or undertaking certain other methods of gaining popularity, like just constantly spamming key figures speaking out for me, which would be annoying. Research. We could put some money into research here. I just maxed out ICT and cybersecurity last episode. Energy and environment. Wow, that's expensive. Human and social sciences. It's not that bad. What about aeronautic? Okay, that's not bad either. Let's go with aeronautic. And let's go into education. Go to salaries. And max out literary and teaching again, because that's pretty cheap. Now we've just spent a fuck ton of money. Like an absolute fuck ton of money. And Hanukkah's coming up. That can increase my popularity. Holy son of a fucking bitch. What did I do? 11.8? Oh, you're not going to tell me exactly what did what. All those things combined gave me 11.8. I was not expecting that much. Maybe I should keep that up. Oh, I didn't put anything into transportation. No public finance hits either. That's really surprising. I mean, this will probably give me one because there are no cheap options for what I'm looking at here. The air's still the cheapest. Yeah, air's still the cheapest. Let's go ahead and boost that up. Spend some more money. Australia's having a forest fire. Too bad I don't care about making friends with Australia. As a reminder, countries I do want to make friends with right now are the UK and China. So that way I can try to get on the UN Security Council permanently, or that way when I do attack an enemy nation, they will back me up and stop intervention against me. I'm currently preparing a cyber attack against Lebanon as my next target. I was thinking of changing some others over. Egypt I already had there because they canceled our embassies when I took over Palestine. They canceled our embassies and they have had troops on our border the entire game. So I'm just being careful about that. We got a 1.5 from transport. That's good. Who should I change over to cyber attack at this point? If anyone. Like maybe just some more countries I'm bordering. Because it does take a while to get a cyber attack ready. I do have troops in... Well, I do have agents in Syria, Saudi Arabia. I don't know. I'm considering. I don't want to expand too quickly. Not because of like when I was China and Brazil and I just didn't want to fuck my country over internally by expanding quickly. But because I'm little teeny tiny Israel. And if I expand too quick, it's going to hurt. What's happened over here? We got a lot of Iranian troops over here. Seemingly getting their asses beat by, oh my god, a gigantic Pakistani infantry force. That's huge. And it's just been destroying Iranian tanks, which we can barely see. Iranian infantry, their Pakistanis are being supported by some ships. Popular strikes going away. We got some money from the billionaire. Conventional submarine sector's up and running again. That's good. Wow, this is just going pretty fast. Hang on, I gotta slow this down. Yeah, national defense doesn't have enough soldiers. Some people might like me doing this, and I do want to get about 1% of my troops in the military, which if you count the reservists, we already have that. But I mean active military. At least I want to get 0.5%. 0.5% right now is something like closing in on 75,000, somewhere between 70 and 75,000. Ooh, that's actually a lot of money. Ooh, okay. Let's go for 53,000 instead for the troops. We're still recruiting some more commandos. I'm going to leave that as is for right now. I'm going to try to increase this not too fast while my popularity isn't actually that good. Opening the door to democracy. Bitch, I closed the door to democracy the day that you hired me as your leader. So seeking to get some popularity and looking for ways to do it while increasing purchasing power, I found some really weird things. Like people really hate it if I were to lower the real estate tax. It didn't seem like there'd be much good happening if I lowered the income tax, which is interesting. I didn't check the value added. We can't afford to lower that very much. This is 1/3 of my income. This is literally 1/3 of my total revenue. So we can't really afford to lower that too much. There are other things that we can afford to at least drop down a little bit. And here's one of them. Employee Social Security payments. We got the big green happy face when I was polling around here. I spent like $100,000 just polling this tax alone. So I'm going to try to lower this by 1%. It would reduce our income by about $1 billion. But let me do this and show you why I don't care about that. My budget excess is almost $15 billion. Last it was checked, this is not from 2020, by the way. This is a bug. But last it was checked, like last year, it was under 14. It's raising, even though I keep lowering taxes, even though I keep increasing spending. Our revenue just keeps going up and up and up, just by how good our economy is, by the age of our workers. Just little things are keeping it up high no matter what I do. So I'm not really worried about it. The tax is slowly being paid off. It's okay. All right, so that got us a 4.5% boost from employment. Not purchasing power. Sad face for economy. What? I'm sorry. Wait. So, it's good for employment that I lowered a social security tax, which has nothing to do with employment. It's bad for the economy that I lowered the taxes of the purchasers in the economy, which would increase the economy, which would make it stronger. That's poor. The economy doesn't like that. And then purchasing power is barely happy, I guess. That makes no sense. These game developers are stupid. So I'm just keeping an eye on the fighting happening over here. We can see their units popping in and out. This is so crazy. The 2019 edition didn't do this. You always saw all the troops on the map all the time unless they were terrorists. We're only seeing the action as it's happening. Pakistan has taken over this naval base. It is getting shelled by the looks of it by Iranian missile launchers. Yeah. Ooh, Pakistan just lost? No, they just won over here, I guess. They took over this military base. Ooh, my God. Another 20,000 Pakistani troops. Iranian helicopters getting destroyed. Missiles coming from both sides. The Pakistanis are making their way into Iran, through Iran. They have some fighting happening up here. I'm not sure the extent, because this is the whole border right here. This is where they have to fight. So I'm not sure exactly where all the Pakistani troops are, where their offensive's taking them, but they're definitely winning for now. They're on the offensive territory-wise. The balance of the fighting is in Iran's favor, but the balance of power is still in Pakistan's. Oh man, you can see they're making progress, but they're losing a lot of infantry to do it. They've lost about 70,000 already. Iran's only lost about 21,500. Their total current infantry is getting a lot closer in number to each other. These two sides are not going to come out of this very well. The longer this war goes, the worse for the both of them. It would be so cool if they just tore each other to pieces, because if they did, let's say Pakistan won the whole war, but they came out of it with no military, let's say UN intervention was active against them, we wouldn't even need commandos. We could literally land in Pakistan, probably, and just start taking them over. Work our way up towards their capital. That's a long shot. That's a long shot that the war actually gets that far. I don't know how the people will like it, but I'm going to go ahead and set 3 of the smallest multi-sports complexes to start building. It's going to take 218 million over 5 years. That tends to be the total cost. We only have 2, so we're building 3 to get it to 5, because I do want to start expanding my infrastructure for sports, because I don't think the countries we're going to be taking over will have very much of this, and I know our people will almost definitely probably like getting this stuff, but they probably won't like excessive spending for it. We're going to have these fucking messages about terrorist threats for the rest of the fucking game, aren't we? Oh, guys, holy son of a fucking bitch. The UN ruled 100% against Pakistan. Oh, no. Vietnam declares war on Pakistan. China declares war on Pakistan. Iraq, Turkey? Everyone is declaring war on Pakistan. Is there more that's going to pop up? I don't see how Pakistan could ever come out of this with a win. The whole international community, not the whole, but, you know, Iraq, Vietnam, China, like, sure, they don't have a way into Pakistan, but they can go around, and I can bet you there are troops that are going to be setting sail real soon. Pakistan is still pushing into Iran. Wow. Wow. I want to get involved so badly. Man, I don't know what I could gain out of this with so many different forces involved, though. Like, this, I could try to come out of it annexing a single region if I even successfully landed. Pakistan still has a lot of their troops. I could try to quickly raise some commando force to try to snipe while they're distracted. I don't know, because Pakistan still has a lot. We got a little bonus for sport. Pakistan has a lot of troops. Turkey, Iraq. Oh, wait. No, this is latent. I was going to say, if India's in it, Pakistan's dead. Pakistan is dead. What is the status of everyone else being in this, though? Okay. These countries only entered to defend the territory of Iran against Pakistan. So they're not going to claim anything. Anything they do is for Iran. Really? Turkey's defending... What? Turkey is defending Iran. Huh. That's really interesting. Declare war on one of the two. initiate conflict between your nation and one of the warring troops. Your troops won't move automatically, but have the authorization to do so on the soil of the country they are helping. On the On the soil of the country or organization they are helping. I see. So this is deploys a country's army to launch a massive attack against select participant in conflict with the country or organization which to help. Armed force can invade enemy territories, will under no circumstances be able to annex them. So if we entered it like this, then... Okay, if we entered it like this, then we wouldn't actually be able to take territory. So what everyone else did is this. Assuming they're playing by the same rules, what they should be doing is literally defending Iranian territory. So right here in anything Pakistan takes over, they should actually probably not end up invading Pakistan. It seems like they're just entering to defend Iran. They may still skirmish in the waters over here, but it seems like they're not going to push into Pakistan. We're going to have to keep an eye on this. We are going to have to keep an eye on this. One way or another, this did pass. This did pass. Adopted resolutions, military intervention against Pakistan. So that should mean that for literally the rest of the game now, anyone and everybody has permission by the UN to invade Pakistan. I've seen the UN be a little flip-floppy in what they like, what they allow, what they let you do. Sometimes they'll give you permission and then they'll still rule for intervention against you. But technically, for the rest of the game, anyone and everyone should have permission to invade Pakistan. So we're going to have to keep that in mind. Okay, wow, we just got a big ass popularity boost for the law employee social security payment lowering by 1% going through, another 10.6%. That was really fucking effective. We're almost up to 90% again, which is awesome. Offering results. Yeah. We can see the information about Iran in the paper. Some terrorist attacks. I did go ahead into Army, and I did set commandos to recruit up to 500, now that we finally hit 250. My goal is to end up getting it to 1,000, because that seems to be a kind of useful commando force without going over the top. I have sent a satellite over to Pakistan because I'm curious what is actually in their capital. I want to know. Not a lot. Not a lot. Holy shit, that is not a lot. The commandos there make it a little tricky if you actually wanted to maybe try to snipe their capital, but they don't have a lot defending their capital. That is one thing to keep in mind. So if we wanted to get in here and try to basically fuck up everybody that's involved in this war by sniping Pakistan while they're at war, we could do it, but we would need a lot more commandos. An infantry assault would be just not possible at the moment. We would need to, well, we could make India like us and then land troops there and then go around like this and then maybe cyber attack. We wouldn't even need to at that point. And then just bam, just there you go. Just like that. That could work if we really wanted to do that. However, at that point, it's just like, why not use commandos anyway if it's going to accomplish the same thing? It can be accomplished simultaneously. But either way, I don't have transport with them and I don't have enough commandos. All we're going to have to do is watch this war for now, continue to get our popularity up. Looks like we do have something to deal with in our industry here. Let's see. Electric utility vehicles. Let's get it, yep, up and running. That's pretty cheap, actually. And conventional submarines is back to running. Let's denationalize it. Where else can we go? Combat robots, we don't have the capability. Yeah, I think we're out. I think we're out of other things to nationalize. So we can only, well, we're out of things that we know that we can actually get up and running again. So let's just get zinc to state involvement, just as a preparation. So for whatever reason here, there is now a conflict between Egypt and Iran. Just a conflict, not a war. And we're being informed of Egyptian troops near Israel. Yeah, they're moving. This is an anti-missile battery by the looks of it. They're moving stuff. Iranian drones ended up in Egypt somehow. I don't know how, but they did end up over here somehow. Looks like it was right here. So I think Iranian troops were trying to cross through the Suez Canal and it accidentally resulted in a conflict. I don't know. It looks like it. So it probably won't mean anything. We keep getting alerted.
This threat, I can, with your agreement.
No, don't.
I really think we should send a message of disapproval to the government of this country.
You know what? Yeah, do that. Send a message of disapproval. Because if I can provoke Egypt to attack me, then technically I can attack Egypt without anything going wrong. I mean, we're not ready for a cyber attack yet, so I mean, they could possibly deal some big damage to us, but at the same time, Egypt shouldn't have a lot of military hardware, and this area is not very militarized. This is terrifying, that this is right here. That's a little scary. But if Egypt did attack me, I think we would come out of it for the better if we took over Cairo. I have a satellite here, yeah? Alright, what's in Cairo? Ooh. Oh, that is a lot of soldiers. But if I can basically provoke Egypt into attacking me, that would work. I could also simultaneously provoke it literally by putting troops of mine on their border. That is a thing that you can do, technically. I could have tried that with Palestine, but I wanted to test to see what it's like when you attack a country that's not in the UN. But I could always try to provoke a country into attacking me by putting troops on their border, but that also defeats the whole purpose of having a surprise attack. You know, just cyber attacking, getting the drop on them, and shock and awing your way to the capital. You can't really do that if you're trying to provoke an enemy attack. You're going to take more losses that way, typically, and you're not going to have, like I said, the element of surprise. You could try it if you had a base in another country. That would be a better way to try it. Someone that's bordering you probably isn't the best idea, at least not as a tiny country. Not as a tiny country like we are. Made increase on where to get a van. That's not too suspicious so far. Well, boys, welcome to 2023. We've just passed over into a new year, new quarter. We had a $4.5 billion cash surplus. As you can see, our income is going up. We have some more unhealthy houses to fix. We'll do that. 4.75% growth in 2020. GDP at over 500 billion now. As you see, our starting growth for the year is insane. 5.69%. I can't even comprehend how it's that high. But hey, man, that's good. So long as our inflation stays in check, then that's technically nothing but good. So let's just go into the housing sector here and get rid of all these dilapidated houses, all of them, all at once. Thank you very much. I'm also going to go into army and pay attention to our missiles here. Our missiles could use some love. I swear to God, I tried to get it up to 2,000 before. Maybe the war interrupted it. I don't know, but it's going to 2,000 again. Cost like 100 mil. Our soldiers are still going up. Commando's still going up. Pretty much just waiting in most regards. Getting the electric utility vehicle sector took an extra minute, basically. I got it to 1, but it wasn't enough, so I got it to 5 manpower. It's at 4 now, actually, but now it's open. Let's go ahead and denationalize it. Conventional subs should already be denationalizing. Yeah, it just took a moment. Holy son of a bitch. How did we get all these happy faces and then lose 9.2% to a single demonstration? League of Pioneering Democrats. Why do you hate me? Is it because I'm a dictator? Is that it? I can't click on you guys here, so I can't see how everyone feels about them. The League of Pioneering Democrats is these guys, right? No, it's these guys. Oh, the literal most popular, largest party in our country. We're gonna have to keep an eye on that. If they do start causing me problems, then I may have to start going after political parties, because 9.2%, that's a big hit. Seniors in danger. I've been increasing so much for seniors. How can you be in danger? Plus, you love me. I've been increasing our purchasing power. I've been making everything better. I don't know how you could be in danger. Anyway, that is a pretty bad demonstration hit right there. I don't really know what to make of that. We may have to end up going after political parties. I don't want to get it to one political party because every time I do that, then they get control of Congress and they get control over elections all of a sudden. Like, everything just reverts. But we may have to keep an eye on it, maybe get it to a multi-party system under state control. If they start causing me a lot of problems, maybe just going crazy and just banning political parties. I was hoping we wouldn't have anyone starting to cause us any more problems, but as we can see, that's not going to be the case. Which one of these is less damaging? Spend 60 grand to figure that out. It's portraits and school books. Let's get portrait and school books. Make people just like me more. Like me, quote unquote. Make them accept me as their eternal dictator a little bit more is the more accurate way to describe that. Apparently that war between Russia and Sweden has still not calmed down, with both sides losing thousands of infantry. It's still not a war. I don't know how the AI manages to wage conflicts without them becoming wars. The players just cannot do that. The moment you attack another country as a player, even a little bit, there will be a war declaration and the UN will be called to intervene. Unless you had permission, and even then, they may still end up calling for it. But apparently, this is still raging, and it's raging over here. Nothing's been taken over by Russia, so I really don't know what's actually happening here. But it's none of my business. Nothing that's actually happening anywhere is my business. I really should just be focused here. I should stop trying to think of ways to exploit this war, because these are powers beyond my imagining. My military, while being considered very strong on the world stage, is not actually that strong. A lot of its power comes from the fact that I have thousands of rank 1 tanks, which are not even tanks. Like, yeah, they're tanks, but these are like World War II era tanks. Like early Cold War era tanks. Like, that's what tanks rank 1 are. If you actually look at them on the map, they look more like armored cars than tanks. So that's probably where a lot of my military rating comes from. It's not accurate. It's not. I mean, they're still tanks. Tanks are still tanks. Even a bad tank is still a tank, and it can hurt a new tank. But I don't know. But it bothers me a little bit that it's not modernized. Not that I have the economy or anything to really fix that at the moment. Okay, we have a good budget surplus. We have
our growth forecast for the
very good growth rate. I will probably want to see that lowered a little bit, if at all possible, just because I think it is starting to raise our inflation again. Yeah, it is, but who knows how far it'll actually go. Let me check our finance tab here. Wow, you can see our GDP has gone up quite a bit. This should be the start, right? Yeah, about 400. It's gone up quite a bit since the start of the game. GDP as of the world's share, unfortunately, though, is not going up. It's going down because places like China, the US, etc. are probably just growing faster than we are, which is unfortunate. Our trade balance has also gone negative, probably because we took over Palestine and now we have a very economically unsuccessful country that has a lot of needs and demands that we have to take care of as well.
the national defense.
Bro, I am literally expanding the military right now, and you're going to come at me about, oh, we don't have enough men. I am hiring men. Shush. Zinc is now under state minority shareholder status. Let's go ahead and do the same thing for silver. And before anyone says it, no one said it so far in the series, but before anyone says it, I know that I can bundle these together and do them all at once, but anytime I have ever, across any of the GPS series, tried to bundle together more than 2 industrial things at once, there have been catastrophic events where I basically die or come close to dying, and I would just rather avoid that if at all possible. Let's bump up some more culture spending, which is nice and cheap. And where else can we eke out some popularity points? In employment, I mean, that's certainly not going to help lower growth. But if we bump up employment here, the law and personality, terrorist cult, yada yada. Okay, so we are getting 3.3% boost already just from what I've just done. So that's good. We're up to 95%. We're going to figure out how to use this. So I've decided the next best thing to do is to tie up a loose end before it becomes even more problematic. And that is going to be the status of these political parties. Fuck it. They're going to cause us problems. They're already causing us problems. They've shown that even with, no matter how strict our regulations, everything are right now, no matter how much I help people, they're going to cause me problems, and they can take 1/10 of my popularity away in a single day. I don't know anyone with that kind of power in real life. That's insane. That is insane. But that happens in this game. And I'm not going to wait for this to come bite me in the ass later. Not every party hates me, so we could just focus on one party, but I'm just going to do this instead. We're going to go from the free multi-party system to the tolerated multi-party system under state control. I've already pulled it. It really was not that bad of a frowny face, so it shouldn't cause massive problems. And as for a little war update over in Pakistan, as we can see, they lost this military base. They're kind of pushed back over here. There's fighting all over the place. Iranians have started pushing east, kind of. I don't see any other nation's troops getting involved quite yet. Let's see what the losses are in the war. Oh man, over hundreds of thousands in total. 156,000 infantry lost by Pakistan. 114,500 by Iran. 95 fighters, 122. 52 for Iran. Missile launchers, 27 for Pakistan. Commandos, 31 for Iran, 186 for Pakistan. Tanks, they have mixed Tier 1 and Tier 2 tanks being lost on both sides, hundreds for each. Some drones, some helicopters. These losses are crazy. Looks like Iran's entire navy, by the looks of it, this might not be their whole navy, but their entire navy that has partaken in the war is dead. They've lost their entire navy. Pakistan still has a pretty strong submarine navy, but they only have one cruiser remaining. So this war is taking a big toll on both of them. They're not replenishing their troops any rate comparable to how they are spending them. This cannot go on forever. These are unsustainable losses on both sides. I'm very curious to see how this will go. But for now, we have a nice full episode. It'll be fun to surprise myself next episode, starting out with lowering the freedom of political parties, because I might not remember it, and it may be like, what the fuck? What's happening? Why am I taking a giant popularity hit? You're welcome, future me. Thank you guys very much for watching, though, and I'll see you on the next episode.